Steve Chaggaris is CBS News political director. He joins me now. Steve, having these comments from the president, do you think this undermines Attorney General Sessions' job?
It doesn't sound like it. I mean, you heard Sessions out there just a second ago saying he loves his job and he's going to continue to do it. You're not seeing a groundswell of Republicans on Capitol Hill or around the country saying, yeah, you know that Donald Trump, he's right about all this. We got to get rid of Sessions. So, it doesn't seem like, I mean, for Sessions personally, I don't know how it's going to affect him. It's not really, from a business human resources standpoint, you don't want really your boss out there saying those kinds of things about you. But I don't think it really is going to affect how he approaches this job, at least moving forward. It sounds like he's just going to continue to plow ahead. And it sounds like generally he's got support from his colleagues on Capitol Hill.
Sessions isn't the only person that Trump has criticized. There's James Comey, there's Rod Rosenstein, Special Counsel Mueller, Acting FBI Director Andrew McCabe. Basically everyone involved in this Russia matter has taken a hit from him at some point, even his own communications team. So do you think the president will have anything to gain by making these kinds of remarks?
Well, it depends what you look at, right? So I think if you look at people who support President Trump, these are the kinds of remarks that sort of play to the people who support him. These are people who think that this Russia investigation is a witch hunt. These are people who think that the Russia investigation is overblown, or at least the coverage of it is. And so he's playing to those people when he says these types of things. The problem for the president is the boomerang effect. I think he underestimates or doesn't really understand what the negative effect of saying some of these things are. I mean, remember that the Jim Comey memos came out after the president criticized Comey following the firing of Jim Comey. That would not have happened probably, or maybe not have happened as quickly, if the president wasn't out there on Twitter criticizing James Comey. And now you have yesterday him drawing this line about Robert Mueller and saying it'll be too far if he goes and looks into my family's finances. Well, guess what? There was a report out today that said that that Robert Mueller is looking into his family's finances. So I think the president doesn't seem to understand, or maybe he doesn't care, that when he says these types of things, that there is a reaction from some of these people in powerful positions that can negatively impact the president.
Talk to me more about his base, Steve. There's been this slow drip of information on this Russia probe. Is there any way to quantify exactly whether his base continues to stand by him?
Well, we've been seeing numbers really since over the course of the first 6 months of his presidency that show there is a significant base of support for the president. They're willing to give him time to work through his agenda. They're willing to look at this Russia investigation and suggest that it's not all that it's cracked up to be. But the question is long term, how is this going to work out for him? As the drip, 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 as you mentioned, as more comes out on Russia, does that affect, does it chip away at his base? The longer that he goes without any major legislative accomplishment, does that chip away at his base? That's something remains to be seen. Again, we're only 6 months into this presidency, but it is clear that there is a significant number of people, 30%, maybe a little more, that stand behind this president and are willing to give him a chance here.
It's hard to forget, Steve, that it's been only 6 months. It seems like quite much longer time that we've been covering all this back.
Keep in mind, he did announce his presidency over 2 years ago, so we've been paying very close attention to this for a couple of years.
Okay, that makes more sense. Steve Chaggaris, thank you so much for joining us, Steve.
Thanks.